Innovative.
Yeah. Comptonmania.
It's your boy Deshaun Showtime Watkins. Woolsey. And I'm here with my co-host.
Cool ass Cam, the coolest motherfucker on the planet.
Wow. And welcome to the culture of Comptonmania, episode 6. We doing this thing,
We
Cam.
doing it, man. We on our way.
Man, we rolling right now, bro. And you know, the craziest thing is that this show, oh my God, this show is about to be insane. We have a special guest today. We talking about a person that's from Compton. We talk about a person that has an MMA background. We're talking about a person that is a wrestler. We talking about somebody with a crazy story. We're here with Compton's own, none other, that will be on Team Compton March 30th. We're here with the Samoan shooter, they call him, AJ Mana.
What's up, AJ?
How y'all doing?
How you doing today, man?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Man, this is crazy. I know we have it's a lot of stuff that you want to break down. We know that you AJ Mana, but we will talk about that in a little bit later. But I want to get straight into it. The essence of who you are. AJ Mana, Andre. Talk about where you from.
Well, cat's out the bag. I'm from Compton, y'all.
We'll see.
But yeah, that culminates. Well, that the culmination of who I am and where I'm from it's a crazy freaking story.
Now that's wild that you say it's a crazy freaking story. So let's talk about the origin. You want to talk about like how you grew up?
Yeah. So I grew up in the foster system, but it wasn't just a couple foster homes. We're talking over like 24, 25 foster
homes?
placements.
Okay,
Yeah.
and about how long? Like within what span of time?
Well, what was your age range?
I became a warder to state, I think at 8 months old.
Damn.
And I emancipated at 19.
So that's pretty much your whole childhood.
Yeah, my whole childhood gone. Whatever childhood I had, I didn't have much of a childhood.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Like what was your life like growing up?
So, from what I can remember, the only place I really felt at home and like I was being raised in a legit family would be in. Well, I was in Compton, but it was the home where I had left at the age of 12. I was there from 5 until 12, and the only reason I left is because it was on the pretense that they would reunify me with my mother.
Wow.
My mother had been incarcerated all of my life, and I'm the baby. So for my biological siblings, I have 2. They had been adopted off.
Did you keep in contact with them?
I didn't meet them until my junior year in high school.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's insane.
we'll get into that in a moment.
Jeez.
But yeah, they told me, they pretty much lied to me, to be honest, which they do a lot with foster kids when they're trying to freaking either move them to another placement or something in the home didn't work out. So they told me, yeah, we're reunifying you with your mother. But little did I know it's impossible to reunify me with my mother because she was a third striker.
Oh, dang.
So I couldn't, there's no damn way I live with her, you know? But they...
And I'm sorry to cut you off, but at this time, do you have a relationship with your mom? Do you have any contact with her?
Unfortunately, my mother passed away. This was a few years ago. Sorry. That's it.
But at that age, you had no connection. She was.
So I met my mom when I remember the first time I met her, I was like 4 or 5.
Wow.
Fuck.
They took you to go visit her. They took you to visit her, or how did that?
So yeah, I'm sitting behind this ballistic glass, looking at this lady, and they're telling me that's your mom. Talk to her. That's your mom. And I didn't know what the fuck to say. You know, excuse my language. I'm sitting there like, what? They're like, that's your mom. And she's like, hey, baby. You know, all emotional and stuff. I'm like, what? Like, something's not right here. I'm not supposed to be meeting my mom through a ballistic glass.
Right.
Fast forward a few years, like I didn't talk to her. I always got letters from her. And at the time I could not read. My foster mom would sit there and read the letters to me.
Wow.
When I became of age where I could read for myself, my mom always wrote in cursive. And I ironically was very good at writing in cursive, so I could read it. Other people couldn't read the shit. So it was almost like Morse code, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
That
other
was like
foster
a
kids were
secret
like, what
code
the hell does
between
that
the
say?
two of y'all, you know?
Yeah. So I would actually practice the way that she wrote, you know, and that was kind of my bond, I guess, with her, because I would write back to her in cursive.
Way, yeah.
And then she'd be like, wow, honey, you have such great handwriting and all this. But, yeah, I didn't see her again until I was 8 and then 12.
Wow.
And it was just full of empty promises.
Ooh.
And just a lot of unanswered questions. Like, every time, whenever I did see her, I was just pressing questions. Like, I just want information. I'm not even mad at you for the fact that I'm here. Like, I understand. I just want answers. Like, where's my fucking father? Let's start there, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she could never answer that.
So like and like I know we jumping ahead and going back and forth. I want to tie in the two situations. So how did you deal with that trauma? Like as far as your regular life.
You mean like not having?
So yeah, so
parents?
like so even though you in a foster situation, you still going to school. Like how are you dealing with your peers at school? Like
Oh shoot! So I was bullied a lot as a kid, but not at school. I think a lot of what went on in the foster homes is why I was getting in trouble in school.
wow.
Because I had a chip on my shoulder when I went to school. You know, my foster parent then would freaking have me, you know, pressed out trousers, tie. You know, I wore a damn tie and was high flooding to school. You know, that's another way to get picked on.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You know?
Listen, don't be sending your kids with them short. Like, come on, kids
Hey,
are
for
cool.
real. And this is a school. They had a uniform, but you didn't have to wear a fucking tie.
Yeah.
You go,
extra.
you know,
Extra.
that's a little
Make
extra.
him the president. What
It's
are
a
we
little
doing
extra,
here?
right? And then so kids just want to pick on me just because of that.
Right.
And I was very timid, very quiet. I was, you know, I heard one time one of the foster parents talk about, oh, he gonna be a sissy. But you know, back in the early 90s, you know, you know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then I had something to prove. No, I ain't no, you know.
Yeah.
But she more so wanted to toughen me up. Mm-hmm. So she had her grandkids, her grandsons. They ran with that. She was like, I want y'all to toughen him up. They were like, oh, no problem. But then
They got excited.
they was really whooping my ass. And so I'm running around. She thinking, you know, I'm yelling, mommy, mommy, mommy. She thinking I'm just being a punk. I'm like, no, they really whooping my ass.
Right.
So when I would go to school, I would just be pissed about that. So I go to school and people want to come up and, you know, make fun of me or whatever for what I'm wearing. I was just waiting for the right moment. So then it started becoming a situation where I was getting phone calls home because I was taking kids' backpacks and throwing them in the mud or beating them up in the bathroom and stuff because I was just sitting there waiting for the moment. Like, I would never go press nobody. I would never bully nobody. I hate bullies.
Yeah.
But I would wait for the right moment to jack somebody's jaw because it was happening to me.
Right. And also, too, just to reiterate on that, like the natural psychology of it is you getting your ass handed to you at the house.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll be damned if I go to this place and people gonna think they gonna punk. I gotta deal with it at the house because I ain't got no choice of the matter. But here, I'm calling all whatever. Like, and sometimes you start stuff because you so traumatized. You're not finna continue letting somebody push you around.
Now, to me, that and honestly, looking back, that is very normal. That coming up like that, I wish it was like that. You know, it sounds crazy now, but I wish that was the extent of my trauma. I thought that what I was going through there was traumatic. What I did not know, and then I could never understand why, every foster placement I went to, they wanted my ass in therapy. And I was like, why do I have to kill? I was like, I'm not crazy. I articulated to the therapist, like, I am not a lunatic. I don't need meds. Like, y'all don't, why am I coming to y'all? Because they knew something about me I didn't know. And I didn't know about this until I was 19. When you emancipate from the foster system, they give you a record jacket. In that record jacket explains how you became a ward of the state, every placement, every situation. It's all annotated. Well, in my record jacket, it showed that at the age of 4, I was molested.
Ooh.
This was before going to the home I was talking about. So at the age, between 3 and 4, I was in a placement. And that is the actual trauma that I went through. Being beaten, being left for dead, being molested. I was talking to Oos right here earlier. Naturally, your mama tell you to take your ass to bed. You either gonna take your ass to bed or you're gonna get a whooping. I wish I got whoopings. Like that's normal.
Yeah, it's just some people who take shit to the extreme. Yeah,
I got shit like being tied to the bed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Being gagged, being given spoiled milk. Like, bro, just really jacked up shit you should not. And the thing that really pissed me off is as I got older, and I find that not only have these people not been convicted, they're still right around the corner. So
probably still running the same type of operation.
Bro.
Probably still have foster kids, things like that. And it's kind of sad that people, really end up in those types of situations, and like you say, for you coming from something like that, it's like it's good that you spreading awareness now, because it's a lot of kids that's probably going through that right now. People don't know it.
Right.
And I wouldn't say that. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I wouldn't say that then when I was in that foster home off of Bliss, I wouldn't say that I was coping with anything then because I was unaware. But the thing about it is all of this stuff started to resurface as I'm getting older. Like nowadays I'll be having dreams of the shit that took place when I was 3 and 4, and I'll start remembering it. And then I'll call up my old foster mom like, hey, I had a dream about this and this, and she'll guide me like, yeah, that was back then. That was with Miss Minnie. There's a lady that was called Miss Minnie that used to beat my ass, and that's why I ended up in another home. This lady, I was 3, and she I wanted some milk for my cereal, right? Now, if you're a kid, you're asking for milk for your fucking cereal. Naturally, you'll get some milk for your cereal.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, ain't no crime in that.
For some reason, she had a problem with that. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go to the baby's bottles. And I took the milk out of, there was a set of twins, right? She poured fresh milk in their bottles. Unbeknownst to me, I go and I get spoiled fucking milk out of these bottles that's been sitting on the ground.
So she was about to get them spoiled milk.
No. She gave them fresh milk.
Oh, okay.
Right? It was just bottles that was there.
They was kind of sitting around.
I'm looking at it. I want milk. I'm like 3 years old, or 4, I think. 3 or 4. I go, I open the bottles. I pour the milk into the bowl of cereal. I didn't know it was spoiled. So I thought I start throwing up. Well, rather than saying, oh, poor baby, let's get you some fresh milk. She says, you better eat that shit.
Oh.
I said, it's not yucky. I'm telling you, it's yucky. Like, I'm fucking spoiled milk, bro. She beats the fuck out of me, makes me scarf down that spoiled milk. On my way to preschool,
It makes you even sicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I get to preschool, cops show up. Next thing you know, I'm in a hospital. After being assessed in the hospital, I moved to another home, and that's where they assess the abuse. I didn't have not near a conversation with nobody about this situation. In fact, I had dumped it out of my mind until that record jacket, and I spoke to my foster mom like, oh, that was Miss Minnie, yeah. Oh, okay. And like all this shit's coming back. And I'm like, I'll be damned. This is why I don't even trust fucking daycare. Yeah. I'll be damned if I ever had a kid and I'm dropping them off. Because that lady ran a daycare. She was a foster parent as well as daycare provider.
Wow.
And that set of twins were her daycare kids.
And it's crazy, man, because a lot of us have, those types of, experiences and things like that that's kind of sitting in the back of our minds, right? And to where you really think about it, like, my kids, like, they stand with me, whatever I gotta do, whether it is, like work these hours or whatever, it's like I'm gonna make it to where they don't gotta go with somebody else that I can't trust like that, you know?
Yeah.
That's also coming from people that's supposed to take care of you. Like that does something to you psychologically.
But
like
them people be in it for their own.
Here's what screwed up my mind, right? I know my experience. I'm watching other kids get their ass beat. Now, when the social worker come for their monthly assessment, what the foster parents do? Oh, I just love kids. We go to church every Sunday. You know what? They put on this whole show
so they can get that check.
Yeah,
they get that tax break.
Yeah. Now, speaking of check, oh, bro,
hold on, real quick. I wanna, cause we got a certain time. I want you to call who you need to call.
Oh. Yeah.
So we could talk about that particular situation because I feel like it ties into that.
One of your,
hey, just so y'all know, a lot of people, they like to embellish stories. They like to fabricate shit. Yo,
sure you plug that up?
Yeah. Let somebody else verify what's been going on.
Hello?
Sifu.
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, so the man that I call Sifu, he is a sheriff deputy. He's been my mentor since I was like 11, 12 years old. Like, he knows me, right? And he's been there through a lot of this shit. So, yeah, Sifu, you have the floor.
Yeah, so Sifu, we want to talk about the situation that we talked about earlier where a house had got shot up. And we could talk about that situation from your standpoint.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give it to you from a law enforcement standpoint, and from, Andre's my boy. He's my student. He's important to me. All right. So let's start from the beginning. I was minding my own business. Now, I was working Compton as a deputy sheriff. Working Compton. I'm sitting in Rancho Los Amigos Park in Compton, and I got a phone call from Andre, and Andre was upset. He was very upset, and he was telling me, "Hey, they shot up our neighborhood. They came through. They tried to kill me. Or Kim and whoever else was on the street." Yeah. And he's like, "I'm done. I'm freaking done." And he ended up getting an AR that he knows very well how to use, very, very well how to use, and being a Marine. And actually, he was home on leave from the Marine Corps. So apparently from a cousin or somebody on that street, and he calls me up. He goes, "Hey, I'm not going to let them hurt my foster mom. It's not going to happen." So he was in warfare mode. Well, luckily, I was like 3 blocks away in my patrol car. So I told him, "Stay where you are. I'm going to come to you." I came over, I rolled over with a buddy of mine, and he was fit to be tied. He was ready to go. I was like, first thing, no weapons. I'll handle it. I'll handle that part. It took him a second. I was proud of him for 2 things. I was proud of him for just the focus that he showed. Most people would have gone off half-cocked doing stupid things. He was extremely laser-focused on protecting his foster mom. He was like, "It's not going to happen."
Wow.
And also, too, he felt like, how dare they do this? And I'm here now. Are they coming after me? Is it because I'm here? And he was on it. He was on it. But fortunately, I got there, put out some information over the radio, and hours later, we were able to actually get those guys.
It's
I think about 3 hours later.
And this is an amazing story, Sofu. Like, we appreciate you for that story, because now I'm transitioning into the man that he is, like, today, and the man that he's becoming. Like, this dude goes to schools. He reads to students. He's a perfect example. He trained people. He's always been focused on his craft, and it's just crazy to see, like, I mean, it's a lot more we can talk about. We can even go a little deeper, but I also want to get on the redemption side and talk about like you even training in the MMA and some of the stuff that you put yourself through to become a better version of yourself as well.
Sifu, you want to tell him real quick about that? The MMA world, how we met?
Okay, are you ready for this? All right.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. Andre, since he was a kid, and I'll back it up just a little bit. Since he was a kid, when I met him, he hung out at an MMA gym in Long Beach called Body Shop, and he was a nuisance. he was in there, and he wasn't trying to be a nuisance. He just wanted to belong, and there's nothing but grown men in there. Grown men trying to achieve a goal to fight in the UFC or wherever. Bellator didn't exist back then, but so these guys are training hard. He's an probably 11-year-old kid in there trying to roll with all these big dudes and just getting smashed. He is taking butt whoopings.
Damn.
Right, and truthfully, that's what caught my eye, because Antonio used to yell at him, like, "Get off the floor, get off! You can train later. You can train later. Do you know?" And he was like, he just found a partner and started rolling with him, and he is getting his butt handed to him, bloody sometimes, and. He'd get hurt. He'd sit in the corner, out for a little while, get right back up, start doing it again. I'm like, this kid is freaking crazy.
That's crazy to keep coming. Yeah. Like, what kept you keep coming to that?
And I think a lot of that stemmed from my experience with foster care. Like I said, all the abuse at home or homes, because I was never really at home. All the abuse I just kind of got numb to, like, that's the best you got kind of thing.
Wow.
So when somebody like, busted me up or whatever, that was my attitude. That's all you got. Because frankly, grown men had no business busting up an 11-year-old kid. That's not my personality. If I see an 11-year-old kid that wants to learn this, be it wrestling or martial arts, it resonates with me, and I relate to that because I was that kid. So what business do I have busting up the chops of some young buck? Like, maybe that kid is going through what I went through. Maybe that kid has been molested, starved, abused, as I have. I go bust him up and show him I don't give a damn about him. Now he probably might commit suicide, as I have contemplated many times.
Wow. It's crazy that you dropped that bar, because with that bar I got a fam, Kevon Gully. I just posted his video on Comptonmania, and he talked about, like, people that go through different things, like, if his dad is Big Psycho and he grow up as Little Psycho, he gotta match that name. He gotta be that extreme. That's what he's tormented with every single day.
You gotta live up to the expectations.
But he said one thing. He said, "You not crazy, you just hurt."
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Like, you the example of somebody that took your hurt, because you could be a savage right now. to be honest, like
I could be
emotionless.
Well, I had that same.
But you do
foster
good work,
parent.
though.
No, she told me, because when I got mad, like Thomas said, I would sit and pout. I would get quiet. I'd go cold. I would literally just shut down when I was upset. And whenever I was getting scolded by a foster parent, I would just shut down. They'd ask me a question, I wouldn't reply. And they'd be like, "Oh, you gonna end up dead or in prison because of your attitude." Well, okay, if you really reel it back and assess all of the abuse here, all the psychological abuse was worse than the physical abuse. Telling me shit like your mommy didn't want you, your daddy didn't want you, that's why you're here. That really fucks with your head as a kid.
Because that has something to do with your existence of who you are today.
Yeah.
So if someone tells you something that questions who you are today, that's a fucking mind flip. It's like, I don't fucking matter then. If I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what?
So, like, with however I coped with that, I can't even tell you, because the average kid, I can't even imagine how they would still keep coming. But there's something in me that I never like to be denied. I'm never going to be told I can't do something I want to do. And that is prevalent today. Don't ever tell me I can't do something. I'm going to prove your ass wrong every time. And that was my attitude then with these grown-ass men throwing me around. Oh, I'm going to get you. Oh, I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to get you. And people telling me I can't be a wrestler. I was too small. I can't play on the football field. Too small. Can't fight in MMA. Can't be a Marine. Everything I was told I couldn't do that I felt like I wanted to freaking do. Seafood, tell me if I'm wrong.
But now you look the part.
No, he's right. He's right.
Yeah.
And let me add on to that just a little bit. And this will probably embarrass you, but right at this point, you're bearing everything. There were moments. Don't think that he wasn't fearful. Don't think he wasn't scared. Because he was. I remember I was training him. Just basic training, just some basic stuff. And when I was talking to him, I was telling him that, you got to do it like this. It has to be done like this. And he's never had structure like that before. And I remember him looking at me and just kind of tilting his head like, really? Like, I'm supposed to do this? And then adding on to that, down the road, when I said, you know what? You're old enough now. I think he was like 16 or 17. I started talking to him like, hey, you're going into the Marine Corps. And he was like, oh, that'd be great to be a Marine. That's cool. But the fear came into him when he turned 17. Yeah. And I looked at him square in his face and said, and I think we were talking outside the body shop, and I said, hey, listen, the Marine Corps was good to me. All right? It kicked my ass. It did everything bad, but man, on the other side, it's a beautiful thing. You're going to be proud to be a Marine. I said, you're going to do it. I said, what else are you going to do? And he looked at me and said, okay, Sifu, I'm going to do it. I come to him 6 months later, 8 months later, 9 months later. No, didn't go to the recruiter. And he admitted to me right at that point.
Yeah.
Wow. I was scared. I'm just scared. Marine Corps, that scares the hell out of me. And I looked at him and told him, if it doesn't scare you, it's not worth doing.
Ooh, bar. Bar. I mean, what else do you have to lose? And I want to go in. And that's amazing. I got to go into this part too. So, the forgotten one, the throwaway, the one who was mistreated, the one that was left, that one finds a warrior spirit of strength and power. Let's talk about this.
A lot of workers in the business, they have their personifications that we call our gimmicks. When I was contemplating what my gimmick, quote unquote, would be, nothing, in my opinion, really, nothing would fit. And so I just came to the conclusion that I don't need a damn gimmick. I just need to be me. And one word popped in my head, and that would be mana. A a lot of people are unaware what AJ is, and they think AJ is just some nickname. AJ is literally the what am I trying to say here?
Acronym?
The acronym of, because my shoot name is Andre Joel Hudson. So there's your AJ, right? A lot of people don't know that. So Mana, meaning strength and power, and the spirit of our ancestors and Polynesian culture, I found it most fitting that I would just simply call myself AJ Mana until I'm told otherwise. If I'm under a freaking WWE contract and I'm told otherwise, well, by all means. But for now and here, I'm AJ Mana.
And tell everybody, how does AJ Mana, he goes and he saves Andre. You're fighting the purpose, that the thing that damn near took you out. You're on the battlefield as AJ Mana. You go in here, you read into these kids strength, power, education, time, telling them that they can be anything that they put their mind to. You, March 30th, standing up for your city, fighting on Team Compton. You know, like that right there shows a superhero that lives within you. And it's in all of us. Because see, AJ Mana is a person that came from places that people say that they will never make it. You talking about, you don't know who your parents are. You had to find your identity. You had to stand up in a time where, you know, the house is getting shot at and you willing to risk your own life to stand up for something because that's what you wanted someone to do in your life. That right there is the ultimate story. And that right there is the culture of Comptonmania. And that right there is an inspiration to people from all over the world, that if AJ Mana could make it, if AJ Mana picked up all his burdens and say, yeah, I came from all this, but I still want the smoke, and I go into the burning house and take some people out with me because this is my mission. We appreciate you for that. And that is something that need to be talked about, because in this day and age, we're always focusing on he got the prize, he got this, he got that. But what's the journey to this motherfucker?
Right.
Like, what did you have to? Oh, I almost died. If I knew that the thing that I wanted was damn near was going to cost me my life, I got to put it all on the line to get this.
Yeah.
Are you willing to do it? Or are you willing to continue make excuses for your situation?
When we talk about what we represent as individuals in this crazy world of professional wrestling, you tell me how many kids have wondered whether or not they would survive because their house was getting shot up. You know, there's a lot of spoon-fed mofos out there that couldn't even tell you what time a firecracker was lit on anywhere in the vicinity of their damn privileged neighborhood. Gunshots, ass beatings from a rival gang, that was my daily life. You know, rivals from Paru. If you're from Compton, you know Paru. All right, that was the first time I got jumped. And I was more scared to come home and tell my foster mom that I lost a fight than to even say that I had been in a fight.
Dang.
And I was, you know,
getting jumped is a little different though.
Yeah.
Like you didn't really have no choice. You know what I mean? Like, they just packed you out. Like you can't really. Yeah, and there's only so much you could do in a situation like that. And then if you tell,
it depends on what kind of parents you got, because you know, if they come from my type of parents, well, we finna go get the revenge on a gang.
Yeah, I don't think that was your fault. I think she probably would have went and rolled for it. You know, she would have pulled up on like the whole little group of them.
Yeah, because you know, moms don't care. You know, we do got to wrap it though. We do got to wrap it. But yeah, AJ, man. Tell everybody where they can follow you, and also talk about March 30th. Okay.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, no more Twitter. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm still active on Twitter. TikTok, I'm over that. But so AJ Mana 1-on-1 on all platforms. And come March 30th, I'm putting on for the city that I'm from, the city that made me, albeit good, bad, indifferent. I'm putting on for the city of Compton at Comptonmania. And the reason for that is very clear cut. I represent the underdog. I represent that individual that was told that they can't do the one thing that they've always been most passionate about. I represent those that are underprivileged. I represent those that struggle on a daily, not privileged. There's a lot of privileged mofos out there, and they don't understand struggle. So that's what I'm putting on for.
Ooh, and I'm your man, Deshaun Showtime Watkins. And listen, March 30th, make sure you get your tickets on Eventbrite. Get them now. Listen, right now. What you waiting on? What you waiting on? Get your tickets right now. Yo, it's $15 for adults, $5 for the children. It's Comptonmania everywhere. Yo, and I got my coolest host in his mother. Ugh.
Cool ass Cam, the coolest motherfucker on the planet. Tap in with me at COOLAZZCAM. Tap in with Innovative Culture. Our website is www.theinnovativeculture.com. Instagram, innovative.culture. And subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/innovativeculture.
And make sure you like, subscribe, share, and don't forget about Punch. DJ Punch. Woozy.
Yeah. Compton.